Okay, so I will walk you through a few plugins of different scenarios. Okay, then we'll see how we can do it. So let's open one project first. So click new, open, file, open. Okay, so it is directly taking me to this SDK. So here is the folder where I have SDK. So like I mentioned, here I have the sample project, or what I can do is I can go to the Visual Studio folder where we have it in the recent items, the recent project and files. We have it. We have tried node sample plugin. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let me go to, so this we have tried. So let's go back to our SDK where we'll look for plugins, and then we will look for this is the plugin solution. So this is a solution where it contains a basic file. So on the right hand side on the solution you can see the details. So this is a solution known as plugins. It contains a project known as plugin. Inside that you can see multiple .cs files. So each one of these are classes, right? Each one of these are classes. So we got multiple functions like account number plugin, advanced plugin, follow plugin, shared variable plugin, and web client plugin. So this follow plugin we have already seen while we talk about plugin in the previous in the previous training. We have seen it, how we can use it. Whenever an account record is created, a task activity will be created for that particular account. So that's what this is a basic plugin. So this one we wouldn't be covering. So the other one will be covering this one, account number plugin. This is what we have been talking. We've been talking yesterday, right? So we talk about the basics of this. These are all the standard code we have. So the logic is very simple. It is simply checking if the account record contains a variable as account number, or a field as per CRM terminology is a variable exist. It's a field exist which has a value. This has a value or not. If it there, then what we are going to do is we are generating a random number. Then that value we are assign it here. Entity.attributes of, this is a schema name of the account number field, dot the object of this random class dot next. That will, it will give you a random number. Okay, so this line is not executing, so this is the one is working. So ideally both should work. Entity.attribute.add account number comma the whatever the value you are going to give, it will show. That is not working, so this way I tried it, directly assigning the value entity.attributes of the schema name of the field is equal to the object of random number class dot next dot string. That it will convert, it will get the number and convert into string, that it will assign to the account number field. Yeah, so if there is no, if there is a value already exists, that means entity.attribute contains account number, that means contains equal to true, mean it has a value already. So in that case we don't need to set a account number already. So I will show you that on the CRM side, the account record. So if I go to one account record, for example, here is the field account number, right? So if I edit this form, you can see the schema name of it. So on the form it comes here. So basically when we are using code, not just plugin, even if you are using custom workflow activity also, we'll be taking this detail, that is the schema name of it, right? So that we are checking. So that name we are using here in our code, and what it's using is assigning a value to that one. Okay, so next let's see, let's register this one. So what I need to do is we need to build the solution, build started, build succeeded. Then you right click on the solution, go to open folder in file explorer. It will give you the folder, right? So this is the location where this project is located. If I go to the bin and debug, I will get the plugin.dll, sample plugin.dll. You can see the time now, so on my clock. Yeah, so this is just updated, but whatever changes I have done. So one thing you need to remember is this solution contains 6.cs file or 6 classes, right? Each one of these plugins are a class. You can see it. So this is the name of your DLL, or in a different way I can say the solution, right? Inside that there are 5 classes or 5 plugins. So now when you register this DLL with the CRM server, then you can see that 5 classes there or 5 plugins there. You can choose all the one that you want to use, or some of them. So now we have this DLL registered. So our next step is we need to register with your CRM server. So for that one we need to use a tool known as plugin registration tool. So I have it here open. So you know how to get it. You need to go to SDK folder. So I have it downloaded and extracted here. So inside that we have a folder known as tools. Inside tools we have plugin registration tool. You don't need to install anything, just double click this application and use it. Yeah, so I have it open and I connected. So now I need to register a plugin. So directly I cannot register a plugin. What I need to do, I need to register an assembly. Click on register new assembly. So here I need to select the location of the DLL, right? So I am going to copy paste the location here. Oops. I am going to select this location. Yeah, this is the location of my debug folder of my project. Come back to my plugin registration tool. It is showing the DLL, the time. You just need to check the time. Yeah, this is the latest one. Open. So the DLL got selected, and here it is showing all the classes or all the plugins that I have here. So this is the name of the assembly, and these are the name of the plugin. So if I want to register all the plugin and to check all of them, right? So these are the name: advanced plugin, account number plugin, and all. If I want to register all of them, I need to check all of them. Otherwise, I can uncheck 1 or 2 of them, and I can register it. So now there is a small display issue that we have when you use the plugin registration tool. So here at the bottom here, we have a register assembly button. So you need to click that one. So I mean, for that one I need to change the resolution of my my desktop. So what I'm going to do, I'm just press next. Yeah. So here you can see the control is here. So I'm going to next once more, press enter, so that the button will be submitted. Now you will get a message saying that the selected plugin has been registered, to showing the detail: 1 assembly registered, 6 plugins registered, right? That detail is showing. Cool. So we got 1 plugin registered here. It is showing here. Once I just expand it, I can get the name of all the plugins. So we registered the DLL or the assembly with the CRM server. Now the next step is we need to register some steps, or in a different way I can say we need to register the plugin for an event. Then only it will trigger, right? So this account number plugin, that's what we are going to work now. This one, when it need to be trigger on create of account. So what we need to do, you know, to register it to an event, click on register again, click on register new step. So here I need to mention on which event this plugin should trigger. So on the first step we need to give this. This is very important, because when you go to any interview, they will ask a lot of questions on this one. So knowing the name and the use of each of these fields is very important. So here if you keep typing create, so you'll get create exception, create instance. So these are the events starting with create. Like that you have update, you have assign, associate, you have delete, everything is there. So I'm here interested about create of account. So now we have primary entity and secondary entity. I just need to mention here primary entity as account, secondary entity here we don't have. In some cases we'll have secondary entity also. I will tell you about that. So for example, assigning a record, right? You are assigning an account record to a user. So you are assigning an account record to a secondary record, that is user. So 2 types of entities are used. Primary is account, which is being assigned to a secondary entity, which is known as user. So in that case I need to select user here, primary and secondary. Okay, so in this case we don't have secondary. I just need to select primary, secondary I am giving as none. Okay, And this filtering attribute field is used when you are using update operation. I will show you that one. Okay, so for create on any other operation we don't need filtering attribute. So now it is showing what is the event handler. So this is nothing but the name of your plugin. Yeah, Microsoft.crm.sdk.samples. That is the solution name or namespace name dot account number plugin. So this is the name of your class. The last section is your class name. So then the step name. Step name means the event. So that is Microsoft.crm.sdk.samples.account number plugin colon create of account, because I'm doing it for the create of account. So like that I can create multiple steps like this. I'll show you that. Then run in users context. Once I select on it, I'll get multiple options. The calling user, that is the user who is doing the operation in the CRM, who is creating the account, who is trying to create the account, his name, or delegated admin. I mean, if you have a delegated admin, that guy, or is the, other user. So if I have 100 users here, 100 users now name will come here. Then a support user. So these are the two types of users. There is a system user that is disabled in this case. So I can either use calling user. So whatever be the privilege of that particular user, based on that it will work. So for example, if the calling user doesn't have the privilege to create an account, the plugin doesn't even work, because system will check what is the security role this guy has. If he doesn't have a privilege to create the account, system will deny, it won't even run, right? So that is the importance of this running users context. Yeah, this is important. And this is the execution order. So the execution order is very clear. So now I am running this plugin on create of account, right? So on create of account I can register multiple plugin. So the execution order means here you need to mention in which order. For example, if I have 5 plugins registered on the create of account, and if I mention for 3 here, then this plugin will execute as third. Before this, 2 other plugins will execute when an account is created. So this is only the one plugin now we have. So I can give an order as 1. Then this is a description of it. Now these 3 sections are important. Event pipeline stage of execution. We talk about it. Pre-validation, pre-operation, and post-expression. So where this need to be executed, this operation, this logic need to be executed. Pre-validation, pre-operation, or post-operation. Pre-operation will execute before the creation of account. That is not what we needed here. We need after the creation of the account record, right? So I'll select as post-operation. So once the account is created, after that we will set one account number for it, right? So I am using post-operation, and this is the execution mode, like synchronous or asynchronous. Do you want this operation need to be executed right after the account is created, or it may be executed after a few seconds? So this will have some performance impact. If I selected asynchronous operation, means it will execute and it will assign the account number whenever the time it gets. So let's select asynchronous so that we can see the result immediately after. The deployment. So normally plugins will be deployed on the server side, right? Most of the time I can select offline also. What is offline is, if I am using CRM application with the help of Outlook or through Outlook, Outlook has an option of going offline. So even when your Outlook is offline, you can access your mail, because there will be a database of your mails on your local machine. Same way, if you are using offline in Outlook, you have to configure it. CRM also you can access it. Even if when you are not connected to internet, still you can access your CRM through your Outlook, because CRM will download a copy, or in a different way, a CRM for Outlook, that's an application that will download a copy of your database into your local machine, and that will allow you to access the CRM, right? So if I'm mentioning offline, this plugin will execute even when your Outlook is not not connected to internet. That is this option. So here we are consider only about the first option. After that, register new step. So you can see this is a plugin, account number plugin, and one step I have created. I can create one more step if I need. If I need to trigger this plugin on update of the record also, I can use it. Okay. So we are done. So now we need to test that plugin. So now to test this plugin, what we need to do? I need to create an account record. So I'll just click new and create a new account record. Yeah, I'll give a name like Etihad. Etihad Airlines. I'll give a name and click here. So here is account number. I'll just click save. Okay, it didn't add the value. Okay, ideally this field should have this value as account number should be assigned. So that is not assigned. So let's check what is wrong with here. Let's check our step first. Double click on the step, create account for first operation. So this looks fine. Then we need to check the code. Okay, maybe we need to do some registration again. Okay, so what I do is here we have an option to update. Click on it, select your DLL again after, because I just made a small change there and rebuild it, and select the plugin again. So here I have a limitation. So I need to select it and update it. So all the plugin that we have mentioned here, it will be updated. So give me a moment. Let me just correct my resolution. Okay, so I'm going to update this assembly. Select it. It's still not giving me the button. Okay. So I will just do, still I'm not able to view that button. So I will do a shortcut. I will just unregister this plugin. Then I will register it again. That is not the right way to do it, but because of the resolution issue, it doesn't show me that button to register it. So, but when I'm registering it, it is a little easier than updating it. But normally if you want to make changes to a plugin, what you need to do, you need to use the update operation. Okay, so let it unregister. So you got an idea about this plugin code, right? What this plugin logic is doing, Murli?
Yes, I got, like, it's basically checking out account number. If there is no account number, then it's gonna show as a pop-up.
Yeah, so basically it will it will just put one account number in a unique number. It will, so whenever you create a new account, account number will be assigned. So let me register it again. Okay, so I need to register the step again. I will quickly do it. First operation. Yep, so let's try testing it once again. Let's create another account record. And I'll show you ABC Corporation. Click save. Still it's not assigning. Okay, so we'll debug it and see. So I can show you some how it will be appearing here. So you go to the list of records. So here you can see account name, main phone, and account number. So here you can see for this account we have some account number assigned. So this is the one. For some accounts I have tried, even today itself I have tried it. So this is the number, unique number on the account number field that the plugin has assigned. The same plugin was working for me today, but now it is not assigning. I don't know. We need to check that one. So this is the number. If I open this account record, you can see. So this is the number it is assigned, and if I go to the other record, so this is the number. So like this unique number it will assign, right? Some unique number. We will never come to know what is the number, because that is you are using the random class that will randomly generate one number. So now this plugin would be very commonly used in every organization. We will use this plugin. So because you know that in CRM by default you will get this what do you call that, the ID, unique ID for certain number of entities such as contract, then competitor, then code, order, etc. We'll get the account number, not account number, actually contact ID, order ID, invoice ID, that will get generated. We know it. If you go to settings you can see. But for other entities such as contact, account, we don't have it. So we normally create a plugin for it. Yeah. So here I am using a random generating class and I'm setting the value. So it will be always random. But most of the times what you'll do is, in generic scenario, what you'll do is you will create one format like this, string account ID format. Okay. So here we'll mention some format, for example account 01. So this will be a format, account 01B. Like this we'll make one format. Okay. So after that, here what will you'll generate the number randomly. Okay. And before assigning it, what you will do is account format is equal to, that means that code will come, alphanumeric code. After that you will assign this to one. This is a string, that is also string. So I will write like this, account format ID plus whatever, like this. Okay. So whatever be the format here, that format it will do, that is account 01B plus whatever the number this random class generate, that will allocate to that one. And after that I will allocate this account format ID here. Right. So it will contain something like this. If I can show you. So this will be different for different organization B. Then whatever the number it is generated, something like this. Right. So like that you will generate the format. So that format would be different for different companies. So now this one is for account. So if your organization need account number, unique ID for account, contact, opportunity, you need to develop multiple plugins. One for account, one for opportunity, one for contact. Separately you need to create. Only thing that instead of checking here as account, you need to change into opportunity. Right? Like that you can do. Or in a different way I can do, like this is for if, right? If for account. You can write this code once again here, else if contact. So above I am checking for account, here I am checking for account, below I am checking for contact. So here it will change, the logic will change a bit. Like this, using one class also you can do multiple, or else you need to create multiple plugins, run the same logic for each of the entities. So this debugging part I will show you, but you understand the logic, right? So basically it will assign one value here. Okay, so the next one we are going to talk about is shared variable plugin. Okay, so in Dynamics CRM we have a concept called share variable, right? So why share variable is used is, if you want to share one value from one plugin to another. For example, I got multiple plugins here. If I go to here under sample plugin, I got multiple plugin, right? Account number plugin, then I have advanced plugin, follow-up plugin, pre-event plugin, post-event plugin, like that. So in some situation, from one plugin you need to send some value with another plugin, right? Just like we are calling one method from another method, so you are sending some value there. So first method is sending some value, second method is receiving some value, same logic. So if I want to here, this is a plugin, pre-event plugin, that will execute on on the pre of core operation, and it is sending some value to the post of operation. In such a situation we can use this and we can share the value. So it's very simple. So in this example we are talking about that one. So if you look at here, we got two classes. That is, this is the namespace. Inside that I got two classes. One is pre-event plugin, other one is post-event plugin. So as the name indicate, this one will trigger before the plugin is before the creation of account or any other operation. This will trigger after the core operation. So let's open the first one. So all the logic, it is all same thing. So what it is doing is, this is just for the sample purpose. What it's doing is GUID contacts equal new GUID. So GUID is a class that you're getting, is a structure getting from system.guid. So I am writing like this, GUID contacts equal to new GUID of. So this is like this. So each and everything in CRM system will have a GUID, global unified identification number. They look like this, alphanumeric number, everything. So for example, if this record I am looking at, right, this record has a number, right? So how will you get it? Different ways we can get it. So here we have an option such as for example, send link. So if I get the link of one particular record, in that one, that ID would be there. So I will navigate to contacts. So I'll show you the logic first. So what is basically doing is, it is just making a GUID. This is a random GUID number of a contact, and I'm saving it in a variable known as contact. Okay. So now here we talk about context, right? That will get from iPlugin execution context. That will get from service provider. So now context has a variable known as shared variables. Shared variable. After that, what you can do, you can add means, if you want to, just this is just like a flash memory, or we say temporary memory, or in a different way I can say as a variable. So contact dot share variable dot add, whatever by add inside it, right, that it will be stored in the memory, and now after that I can read it from somewhere else. That's what we are doing here. Context dot share variables dot add. Here I am giving, so this is the syntax for it. Here I am giving the name of it. So primary contact, that the name I am giving, primary contact, so that name I can use later on just to access this variable. After that, what I'm doing is this variable, right, contact dot toString. I'm reading the value of this contact, that is this GUID, converting into a string. So I'm giving a name and I am giving that value here. So I added it to the memory as a shared variable. Now here is another plugin. So this plugin we will trigger before a contact has been created. Okay, and here after, in this post event plugin, this is the same logic. What this plugin will do, it will execute after the creation of the contact. So this has the same logic. So here I am checking if context, it is the command is written here, obtain the contact from the execution contact shared variable. I'm checking if the, so basically, just to answer our question, if you want to pass some value from the one plugin to another who are running in the different steps, this is the way you need to do it. So you will give a name here and you give the value over here. Now using this name I can read it in the other plugin. Is it clear? So you have used methods, right, or functions. If you have two methods and you are calling one method from another, right? So what you will do is, when you are calling the method, you will give some parameters on this method, so that values will be passed to the next method, right? So in between two plugins, there is no other way to do it apart from this one. You want to pass some value from some data, whatever be it. So here I am showing you to send you a GUID. So as per, maybe you are asking the business requirement of it, right? So business requirement, I can say you that if I want to, if one plugin which is running before the creation of account, need to check what is the time. That point in time, this creation of the account is started, right? So we'll check the time, store that time into a variable. For example, like this, I can make a date time variable, date created. then I can get date, time, today. I can get the date. Okay, then I can add a context variable, context.share variable.add. I can assign this value here so that it will be stored in that value, and here I can read it. Here I am reading it. Contact.share variable contains. I'm checking if a primary contact, that's the name of the shared variable, it is already there, then I need to read it. So here I'm reading it. Contact.share variable of primary contact. I am getting that value here. This is how you will read it, and I am assigning it to contact ID. After that, what I am doing here is I can use it in any way. I can assign it to, here I am doing contact dot. This is the secondary entity contact, where I am assigning this value to a field. Contact dot attribute of description. This is a field on your contact. If you look at your contact record, there will be a field on a description, right? Here I can assign that value. So that's what it is doing. So whatever value I have passed from the first plugin, I am reading it here using this name. So here I am getting it. Contact ID is equal to new GUID of, I am reading that value from the shared variable. So this is how you will read a value from the shared variable, and previously you have seen how to assign a value to the shared variable. Then I can use this value, this contact ID anywhere. What I'm doing here is I'm throwing an error or a message, invalid plugin execution context. There I'm writing the value passed from the pre-event plugin is contact ID.string. So that message will show that this is the value that the pre-event has been passed to you. Then that value you can use anywhere. What I'm doing here is I am assigning it to a description field. There is a field known as description on the contact form. There I am saving it, or you can do anything that. So basically it is used to pass value from one plugin to another. Okay, so here we have this plugin. So here we got two plugins. So we have already registered it on pre-event plugin and post-event plugin. So that is the one we have here. These two. Okay, so we have the assembly and plugin here, but we haven't mentioned any steps. So we need to create two steps. So I'm going to create a step. So this is working on contact. Okay, so yeah, so I'm going to mention contact here, secondary as none, and here I'll mention pre-operation. And there is another one. This is the second one, post-event plugin, where this should execute. So one will execute before the creation of contact, other one will execute after the creation of the contact. So I have mentioned two steps. Okay, now let's try it. Let's see if it works. Sorry, so I will try to create a contact. I will create a contact number Rajesh Kumar. I click save. So now the pre-event would have triggered and post-event would have triggered. So it is showing the message. The value passed from the pre-event plugin is, so basically you set the value here you set the value, this value, right, and you pass down that one to the other plugin. So the other plugin read that one here, is read it, and it is displayed on the message. So it is showing here. So the value passed from the pre-event plugin is whatever value passed from this. So whatever value it is. Why I'm showing this message is just to show you an output. Otherwise you won't get it. So instead of showing the whatever you want to do, you can do it. So this logic I have added just now, that is not added. The plugin here, right, is contained older version. So the one I have added, this logic I have added, we didn't build and register again. If I want to make this change, I need to unregister the plugin or update it. So this is what the existing logic is showing that value. So instead of that, I can assign it to a variable. So that is what this line is showing. It is assigning that to a field. So it is assigning into it will assign to this field once you update it. So like that, I mean, any operation you can't do on that variable. This is used to pass the values. Once the value is available in the second plugin, you can do any operation.
Okay.
So is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. So I'm going to stop it here. So if you got any questions related to this or anything generic,